This is how I do reviews. Tell me if I'm wrong. Everyone has got their own personal way they like to do reviews. And what I want to do in this video is share with you exactly how I plan to do reviews and how I tell if a product is good or if it's bad. So we're going to kick off by talking about cycling kit, but before we do, I just want to say quick apologies. You might hear it a bit in my voice and my face is breaking out like crazy. I'm still a little bit down with the illness at the moment. So let's talk about cycling kit. I'm talking things like jerseys, bib shorts, that sort of stuff. For me, I have a gold standard that if a pair of bib shorts is still comfortable after this, then they get my gold stamp, like S tier rating. So one thing I hear all the time in cycling is like, don't cheap out on bib shorts. You want to get a really high quality and you might have to push the budget out a little bit to get some really expensive ones. And since losing a lot of weight, I've had to try different brands out, find different things, and it costs a fortune. That's the part no one tells you about losing weight, is it gets really expensive to replace all your cycling kit. So I've tested out a lot of cheap stuff and I found it quite interesting. So the first test is a 60-minute indoor ride, because usually the really cheap stuff at around minute 30 to 45 starts getting a bit uncomfortable. Let's just call it that. If you're a bit of a masochist like me, then 3-hour rides indoors kind of expose everything. If a pair of bib shorts is still comfortable after that, then you know they're going to be like a solid pair of clothing. But it doesn't always tell you the truth, because outdoors matters just as much. So a 100-kilometer ride is like a really good ballpark, because 3 to 4 hours in the saddle, again, it kind of starts exposing some of those fatigue points in there. But for me, the de facto gold standard test is a 100-mile ride. If a pair of bib shorts is still comfortable after 100 miles, then for me, it gets my gold stamp of approval. And so I found a pair of bib shorts that are under 50 pounds that have passed this 100-mile test. So stay tuned for that. That review will be coming out very shortly. And it kind of got me thinking, like, how do I make a review about bib shorts interesting? So I'm going to try my best. But it really got me thinking about other products and things, because I picked up some really cheap wheels. Like, we're talking AliExpress, bargain bucket, £250 wheel set, carbon fiber as well. And people say to me it's really dangerous, they're really bad quality, they'll just break apart, how can you trust them? And I found for me, 500 kilometers in, they're really good. And again, it comes back to that review point of like, how do you want to test them out? And the road surfaces near me are so varied that I found it to be like a really good way of saying, well, if it can survive this, they'll survive anything. And I'd say they're pretty battle hardened. They've gone through potholes and all sorts, and they're still true. So there will be a review on these budget wheels coming up. Another thing that kind of got me thinking as well, I'm not quite in a position yet where I'm going to be getting like bikes sent to me every single week like Dave Arthur to do a comprehensive review on. But it got me thinking about like, how would you review a bike? And so I've got a review coming up I'm planning to do for the Cannondale Super 6 Evo I have. And it's been a really interesting one, because one test I found, and this is a really hard one to sort of put into practice, but is actually traveling with a bike. The fact you have to take it apart, take different things out, bring the manual with you, and you kind of get exposed to how proprietary parts are with a bike. Say trying that 3 times fast. But it really kind of opens your eyes to like, okay, if I've got to travel with this, what if I lose this piece here? How easy will it be for me to find it abroad? And if I can't, can I substitute it with something else? Because you've got to take it apart, put it back together, and then repeat the process, bring it back home. I'm not sure why, I just felt like a really good way of like testing something out. Obviously, the best method is just going out there and riding a bike. And the longer you can have a bike and do it, this is what I tend to find. If someone has one for a week, I don't feel like you can give it a full sort of owner's review of it. Like 3 months is a good period of time. Maybe you could cram it down to like a month if you're doing lots of events and riding and stuff like that outdoors. So the summer would be a really good time. I've had my Cannondale now for about 6 months, and I've had various different issues with it that you'd experience, or maybe not as an owner. I feel like it puts me in a good position here to talk about it and the things I've discovered. But I'll probably end this video by saying I've always considered myself, I guess you could call it a gorilla with a camera. I just go out, if I see something that sounds good, I want to try it out, then I just do it. And case in point, a couple of examples here. So about 3 years ago, I heard about chain waxing. I then gave it a go, tried it, and I've been using it since. And so it just sounded good, just use it, do it. And take nasal strips, for example, especially if you're down with like this super flu at the moment, it's brilliant. You can breathe in so much air. I've seen a lot of advertisements for them, and there's this new brand I think that had come out that are selling sports specific ones. A lot of people tell me, hey, I try them out and mid-workout they come off. I found hacks just over the 6 months that make these things like rock solid. You can get like 48 hours out of one of these. It's insane. So again, I'll probably do a little video on that. For me, this is all about sharing stuff I found. You've probably seen a load of videos of mine talk about failures, things going wrong, stuff like that. And I just want to share it because I hope someone out there might find it useful. So I'm not particularly biased towards anything. If something looks good or sounds good, I just try it out, see if it works, and I'll always tell you my honest opinion on it. So with that, I'm going to open up the floor to you, the audience. Is there anything you would like to see in the review process? Do you think there's anything I've missed perhaps? Or have you got any ideas and suggestions as well, like things to try out and test? I really want to factor reviews around experience. I appreciate I'm no Hambini or Peak Talk. Even though I work in like software engineering, I'm not really an engineer by trade. So I can't really talk like an authority on things like carbon fiber layups and stuff like that. But I will happily talk through experience and how I found things. So if you've got any ideas, suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. I'd be super excited to hear it. And yeah, stay tuned. We've got a lot of reviews coming out and I cannot wait to share them with you. So with that, we'll wrap the video up there and I cannot wait to see you in the next one.